We were working last time for that particular number game, in which we see that how we can have different. We have implemented different life cycle methods: on start, on restart, where we are starting and pausing our music, and it's working. So now we want to check that how we can call another activity. And we're calling another activity. Now we want to check that how we can call another activity for results. That's the second way to start another activity. Okay, so what we will do for the first, let me change, because we are not going to change this thing, we are going to add a new one. I hope it will be working this time, that arts dot layout dot thing. Okay, automatically add those things. So what we want after this particular start button, that first of all I need to provide the ID, not the if condition, it is the ID. So once we have that particular ID, so this is our start game button. Okay, after that I want to put two added text. I want to put some two input fields from the users that will take some numbers in it, and then we will be adding those, asking a third activity to add those numbers and return back the answers. Okay, after it's a very simple thing, but just to give you the demonstration that how we can work with that. I say that I want to make it wrap content. No, I say that I want to make it 200 dp, this size, and then we can say that wrap content the height, and then we can say that hint number one. Okay, and then of course I want to put that under the top to the bottom of that particular our start game button. That comes down, so let me put some margin on the top side. So let's say we have 20 dp. Okay, and then I also need to give the ID so that we can put the second number one. Spellings are necessary to be corrected. Okay, ET, we have our dictionary here. So I just try to copy this thing here and put it over here, and then here I say that it is a number 2 ET, not number 1. Number 1 thing, and it should go below that number 1 ET. Fine, so we have those numbers. Now I also need that particular specific. Let me copy that particular button, which is going to start the uh, not start game, start add button, or we can simply say that add button. Okay, and similarly we can say that add numbers, and the other thing is that should be going under the number 82. Okay, and then of course we are going to change that on click event. Okay, so that on click event should be what? Add numbers. So we want to add that particular specific method inside our. So first thing is that, as I told you, that we need to have that particular specific unique ID that we will pass with our request to start an activity for results. So we say that maybe we can say that private. So private final int, and that integer number is add underscore numbers underscore activity, and I say that my number is what, 7. So we have that particular number. Okay, now we need to create an intent, but again we can check. What we can check? We can check that we have those particular specific numbers or not. If we don't have the number, then of course we can't add those numbers. So what we need to do, we need to create an added text. So we can say that num1 et, num2 et. Okay, and then of course we need to initialize that things inside. Maybe we can do it inside our method, doesn't matter, we always do in that. So we can say that num1 et is equal to find by id r dot id dot number1 et, and then similarly we can say that num2 et is equal to find by id r dot id dot num2 et. Where is number2 et? Okay, so we have initialized that, and then we can get the values. What we can say that we have two strings n1 str and n2 str. So n1 str is equal to num1 et dot get text, and we need to convert into two strings. The same thing that we will do for the num2 str is equal to num2 et dot get text dot to string. So once we have those numbers, we can check if n1 str dot is empty and what we can say that not empty. When we say put this particular specific exclamation mark, it means that's not. So we are saying that is empty, then we are putting not. So if we are saying that is not empty, and then we say that n2 str dot is empty, and again we are saying that it is not empty. It means user has given two numbers. If user has given two numbers, we will create the intent object, not in intent, and we say that intent is equal to new intent, and then of course for that we need the new activity. So how we can add that activity? Let's see it's working or not now. We add that activity, we go to the activity, we want to add the empty activity, we have this particular, so we can say that add numbers activity, add numbers activity, and then we say that finish. I hope add number activity is working perfectly fine. There's no dread now. It is trying to just compile everything. It should be fine, I suppose. Okay. Let me find. So we have that particular specific activity, and we want to call that one. So we say this, and then we can say that what is that one? We have an add numbers activity dot class. Fine. Once we have that one intent, we can put those numbers. But again, remember that these are the strings, so we need to convert that into numbers. Okay, so we can say that intent dot put extra. We can say that num1, and then we need to get like integer dot parse int, and we give n1 str. So automatically it will put that particular convert that n1 str into the number integer value, and then putting into the intent. The same thing we can do for the second one, like n2 str, and then we also need to change that particular key and num2, and now we can start our activity for start activity activity for results. So look at that we have here. So we can say that intent we are going to pass, and then we also pass that particular add number activity. Is it fine? So once we are having this thing, we are not starting start activity, but we are using start for activity for results. We are passing the intent and the identification of that particular request that we are making from this main activity. We are putting all those numbers together. Then we come to the activity here. What we can do, maybe I just let me make we have done enough constraints. So let me put it to the linear one, and then I can say that I want to put that particular specific orientation vertical, and I want to put some padding 20 dp. Okay, so I will just try to click. So then we have a text view. We can say that match parent wrap content, I put the id is equal to num1 tv. Okay, and then we can have I think that should be fine. Like, let me text num1 text style bold, text size 30 sp. Okay, so we have that, and let me take that particular specific edit text, convert it into the num2, and then we have those num2. Okay, and then what we want to do, we want to put a button here, button wrap content, and then we can say that text, we say add, and then we say that on click we are going to add numbers. Okay, and then we can say that we want to add that number in the add number activity. Okay, so we have that one. Now, as you know that the numbers are coming from our previous activity, so let me keep that int num1 num2. We are defining those numbers, and then we say that num1 is equal to get intent and dot get int extra, and then here we say that num1, and then default value is 0. That is exactly what we are doing here, num1 num2. Okay, so default value is 0, and just try to copy paste this thing here, that is num2, and then again here it is num2. Fine, so we're putting those numbers over there. Of course I want to put them into our text views, text view n tv, n1 tv, and then we have n2 tv, and then we can initialize those values like this. So n1 dot n1 tv is equal to find by view id r dot id dot num1 number 1 et. That is what we have been using here, num1 tv, num1 tv. Okay, num1 tv. Okay, and then we have n2 tv is equal to find by id r dot id dot num2 tv. Okay, that's text view. So then we can simply say that n1 dot n1 tv dot set text, and then we are going to use that particular specific scenario, num1. Not we are going to that particular writing that conversion tool, n2 tv dot set text, so plus num2. And remember that why we are doing that, but if we are putting that particular only this thing, then the point is it is an integer value, it is expecting a string, so it is not going to be converted automatically. So what we are doing here, actually we are putting a string, and then we have a plus sign, so it is an empty string. So by default Java convert that particular number into the string and add with that particular empty string, so ultimately that number is converted into the string, and that will be set in that particular text view. Is it fine? And then here in that particular specific part, what we need to do, we need to create an intent and finish this one. Okay, for example, we can say that int result is equal to num1 plus num2, and then again we have some spelling, result, and now we want to create an intent. intent is equal to new intent, and then we say that this comma main activity dot class, okay, and then we can say that intent dot put extra, we can say that result result, and then we can say that we are putting the result as well, and then we can say that we set result, okay. So we can have the what, only the result code, or inside the intent data we are trying to set that particular specific result code. So we can say that it's let me see if what is that one, to activity, if the result code is this one, we are going to set the result code. Where is that result code one? Yeah, we are going to activity dot result code. It is inside the activity class that we have result okay, result cancelled. It is a first user or what? I say that it's an okay, and then of course we want to put that particular specific thing inside our intent object, and then we say that finish. Now we are not calling that particular method or something. Automatically this intent that we have created here, the intent that we have created, automatically this will be intent sent back to the main activity on that particular specific thing. So now we need to go into the main activity. This was calling. Now how we can receive back the answers, and what is that receiving back the answer is, we need to implement that particular specific method, that is the on activity result. So on, I think it's small, on activity result. So look at that, it is automatically generate that particular, we have that particular request code, then we have the result code, and then we also have the intent which contain that particular specific data. Okay, so let's I think we can let me put it over there. That's what we not want to do. What we want to do, we want to make a switch, or we can just check if that particular request code is double equal to what, that number, the unique number that we have sent it over there. Add numbers activity, and if it is this one, it means that we are getting the results for our two numbers, sum of two numbers. And then what we want to do, maybe we want to make a toast dot make text this, and then we say that sum of two numbers is, and then we can say that data, that is an intent dot get int extra, and we have result, the same thing that we have used here, result. Okay, maybe I can just copy paste over there. It will be, we will make sure that we are not making any spelling mistake, and of course the default value. No, we are not going to do that. We are only going to do that. That's fine. And then we have that particular toast, and then we can say that dot maybe a little bit longer, and dot show. So we are getting the results from the intent data that is coming back and displaying as a toast inside our main activity. So let's run it and then see if everything is working perfectly fine or not. Again, you can see that particular music is working or not. So first of all, let me add that one. It is not going to work over there. The reason is that if we look at that, we just check if they are not empty, both of them, then you do that. In the else part, we are not doing anything, so that's why it is not showing up any. I mean, we can put some test toast over there. So let me put some number over there, 23, and then we also say 34. Okay, and then we can add that particular. So when we do that, let's go here. We have 23 and 34. These are the numbers that are passed by the main activity. And when we click on the O add, sum of those numbers is 57. It's going back. Understand? So let's. Any questions? Sasta, you was. Is it clear that you were asking earlier?
Yes.
You need slides show. So now you can see that we are making the intent, we are putting those numbers, we are calling the start activity, we are passing the intent, we are also passing a specific identifier which identify this particular request that we are making. And then on the other side, what we are doing, again, we have some information inside the intent. We are intent message, intent object, we are retrieving them back, we are showing them on the screen. And then on the click event, what we are doing, we are computing the result, we are creating the intent, putting that particular result inside the intent, and then we are setting the result code. It even is okay or cancel, doesn't matter, depending on the situation. Maybe we can see, okay. But here we are just finishing, we are just stopping that particular activity. So automatically it will go back to main activity who has called that particular activity, and it will automatically pass that particular data, intent data that we have created over there, with the request code, with the result code. Result code is, we know that activity underscore result code, okay. But this request code is exactly the same as this one. So we are checking if the request code is equal to our this one, it means that we have received the sum of two numbers that we have passed to this particular number's activity, okay. And then we are just showing that particular result on the toast, and that is what we are doing exactly in this particular specific scenario, okay. So let's stop our video as well.